So, in times like this where we don't know what's going on with the world, we pass our times by offending people. So,
Yep.
we're doing a tier list on quarterbacks in the NFL. It's not including rookies going into this next season because there's really no way to judge them. They just got drafted, and we all know where Joe Burrow would be.
At the top.
Very,
Elite.
very. We'd have to make a separate part for him.
Yeah. It'd have to be like,
MVP.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but we're going to be doing so. The tiers go elite. So this is the best of the best. You know where Joe Flacco's going to end up. Is he even on this? I don't even think Joe Flacco's on this.
You didn't get minutes.
Damn.
Like after, well, Drew Lock was better.
Drew Lock was the main guy this year.
I like Drew.
I do like Drew. Almost there. So guys that they're solidified starters, but they're not quite at that level where they're like top five, top 10 consistently. Starter, some guy that if you he's the best option, that it's gonna do the job. He's gonna get the job done. Bench, some guys that no, shouldn't necessarily lead a team, but can come in and perform like you know certain people. Not trying to say anyone in particular.
Like starters, is that like playoff potential or is that
I would say probably
uh,
probably not playoff potential, but it could get you like seven.
like
When you'd get like a mid round, first round pick.
so can't get you to a wild card?
Can't get you to the wild card.
Okay.
Bench, like I just said, can come in if you need them. Someone you'd want, but won't necessarily want as the face of your team. And then cut. That's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Guy that's not making the 53 man roster. So we're starting off with a former MVP, Mustachio,
Start with Aaron.
Big Aaron Donald. Now, if we're talking about just commercials,
Is this? Are we thinking? If we're talking about commercials, he's above elite.
he's
Like
he's a god.
like
Like,
double check elite.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like
And if we're talking about 2015, 2016, Aaron Rodgers,
yeah.
a whole
Is
different
this
ballgame.
like? Are we thinking franchise QBs or for one season?
We're saying as of right now, as
Because he's got some injury problems.
he does,
So
but we're thinking like say like turn off injuries on connected franchise.
all right, turn off injuries. Um, I don't know. We don't really see him with like a supporting caster now. Like he's just got Devonte Adams.
hmm Randall Cobb's
Like
long gone.
this is only, yeah, exactly. His only threat now. Like Jimmy Graham didn't show up during the season.
No, and he's
Um,
he's not even there anymore. I don't think.
he's in Chicago now
Yeah.
with the other 15 tight ends that the
Dan,
Bears have on that
Dan, do you,
roster.
do you remember when Jimmy Graham was like a top three tight end in the NFL?
When he was on the Saints.
Yeah,
Yep, I remember that.
yeah.
Yep. Uh, I I think he's. I don't know. I feel like it's disrespectful to put him in the almost there category.
But
I feel like you have to put him in elite, but it's just
like
I don't know
at the tail end of elite,
how much exactly. Like if he's at elite, he's towards the bottom.
I'd say how about this? I say we put him in elite for right now, and
We
then
can
as
bump him if we need
we can always change it around at the end.
to. No question elite.
hmm Now,
No, for Andy Dalton, like no question.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
can I make a ginger tier?
yeah. I think that'd be like its own category, like unsuccessful. You know, like undercut, like probably shouldn't have been drafted. You know,
Best like the best losing record QB of all time.
exactly. Yep. Um, I feel like he doesn't have a cast either.
I
He's got AJ Green, who's always hurt.
mhm.
Um, but I mean, he's consistently gotten 7 wins, right?
Yeah, not last year.
When they're healthy. Well, last year, no. Last year they were awful. I don't know if he did anything amazing last year, but as of right now, I'd say bench.
He did do something amazing last year. He got him the first overall pick.
Yeah, that's pretty clutch. And then
Mhm.
he got the replacement basically
Uh huh.
onto that roster.
I
So,
I'm gonna say I think we put him in bench because
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Andy Dalton should be on the team, but
He's not. Yeah, he's not leading you anywhere.
I feel like if he comes in,
He'd be a good backup, but
he's a good last option
yeah,
if it came down to it. Baker,
I'll be honest, I like Baker.
I do like
I
Baker,
I am a big Baker fan.
but we can't
I
deny the
I
fact that last season.
I think he's definitely not in bench or cut.
Oh, no, he's definitely
He's at least a
starter
starter.
starter minimum.
I mean, he flipped the Browns franchise around.
And
I just
then
think
and then this past year though,
he
it
was
seemed like
very
he
good.
like
His rookie year, I would have had him at almost there,
mhm.
but
But like
after this past season, I think he's a starter just because he didn't make any like improvements, even though his team got better, like a lot better.
mhm,
Like they got a threat at the tight end now. They have Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry along with Kareem Hunt, and he still couldn't really
mhm.
pull it together.
and
I don't know.
Kareem Hunt's not even the main guy, like the main
Yeah,
running back.
yeah,
Uh, so I'd say we put him in starter. I think that
yeah.
makes
Okay.
most sense. Big Ben.
Um, this past season he had less than 1,000 passing yards, so I'm thinking cut. I'm kidding. Uh, I'm not sure. I think he's probably gonna be like he has 2 rings,
He does have two rings, but then again, we can't be focusing on the
but
past
yeah. And right
because
now he's not. I don't think he's leading that. Like if the Browns make the improvements they should this year, he's not making the
yeah,
playoffs.
because if we were focusing on the past, then Tom Brady is already right here.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you on that. You can put Matthew Stafford up there too if you're thinking about the past.
Yeah.
Like he's either a leader almost there if you're thinking about the past because that man threw for 5,000 yards.
hmm
Um,
Yeah,
I
that
guess
was a crazy season. I wonder who was his coach.
we haven't seen Roethlisberger in a while.
We haven't,
I,
but his videos that he's been putting out, where he looks like a total mountain man, is
yeah, I don't.
terrifying.
Yeah, um, like he needs a cut, but he shouldn't be cut. You know.
He,
Um, I honestly think almost there, just
I,
because he can get you to the playoffs.
and he's like, cause 2 years ago, before this last season, he threw for 5,000 yards.
Yeah, with Jabu, Jameis,
hmm hmm
both of them threw for 5,000 yards in the same season. Oh, my man Cam,
So
my man Cam.
this one's hard for me. This is a hard one for me to
This one's easy for me.
judge.
I'm I'll be honest. As a Saints fan, I'm putting him almost there. He led his team to the playoffs three or 4 years
And
with like lackluster receiver talent. Like Greg Olsen was his like main weapon. Christian McCaffrey's his main weapons, and he hasn't been healthy in 2 years.
100%. And I
I
can't
have him
wait.
at almost there.
Has he been signed yet?
No,
All right.
I wanted the Saints to go get him until they got Jameis, but I mean that's a good
Just
sign.
hey, just wait for Bill's music to hit. It's over.
For real.
But
If he ends up in New England, that's scary.
I am gonna put him in almost there, mostly because I do think he can make that jump.
Yeah,
I think it's very possible. It's just if he can stay healthy.
I don't know if he can. He's got foot problems for the past 2 years.
And he's starting to get up there in age, and just the way he
Yeah.
plays, that just takes a toll on your body, man.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz.
I like Carson too. I mean,
You know what?
with
I
people with
actually
quarterbacks like
actually I think we decide both of these guys right here with the same one, since this seems
yeah,
to be the most controversial pairing.
I think you can't really Carson Wentz is tough because he hasn't had a fully healthy season in a while,
Mm.
and the last time he was peak Carson Wentz was his rookie year when he was an MVP candidate.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, it's just, but I don't think he's winning you a Super Bowl.
No. Uh, yeah, that's why you rely on this man right here.
Yep. Nicholas Foles.
hmm
That man is a monster in the playoffs. I honestly think Carson Wentz is in the almost there category.
I want to put Carson Wentz in almost there because think about this last season. He threw for over 4,000 yards. Very first person to ever throw 4,000 yards with zero receivers over 750.
Yeah, his receiving core is very, very bad this year.
And if they caught half the passes that they dropped, he probably would have had 6,000. So
Yeah, you know,
I think
easy numbers for him.
I
6,000 yards.
I
I got it.
I think that's an easy number. Now,
Yeah,
Dakota Rain
Dak.
Prescott.
I think they got to be in the same tier. They
There's
they're
no
very similar in talent, but the thing is, Dak is better at winning.
Hmm.
because he has more of a supporting cast.
Dak wins.
That's what I personally
Dak
think.
wins games.
Yep.
It's impossible not to root for the guy too. With his backstory, with his story and his comic. It's impossible not to root for him.
Yeah, as a person, yes, I
Yeah.
agree. But the Cowboys, it's really easy to not root for them.
Mhm.
I want to see Dakota go to New Orleans.
I would not mind seeing Dak in a Saints shirt. That would be very funny though.
I mean, if the Cowboys don't pay him,
Ooh.
Saints are gonna want a quarterback, and like all you have to do is work on like the deep accuracy
Hmm.
because he has everything else. His decision making is pretty good. I mean, he's not throwing picks every game. He's like, I mean, his turnovers are low, and he can also move. So I like him
Hmm.
somewhere that isn't Dallas, somewhere that'll pay him. You know,
Because I will give him full credit. He deserves over 30 mil a year.
definitely.
If Jared
Like
Goff is no offense to Jared Goff, if Jared Goff is making 30 mil a year, Dak Prescott deserves 30 mil a year.
Dak threw for 4,900 yards, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, you're almost there for 5,000 yards. You're a top 10
And
quarterback easily.
with how many drops that Amari had this past year, he should have gotten 5,000.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Amari
So
kind of didn't
so
play
so
very well.
so Carson Wentz is technically visually ahead of Dak in this. They're the same exact spot right now. I think
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Or maybe like I don't know if he's timid or something, but this man overthrows way too many deep routes.
Deep routes he overthrows, but he starting to hit them a lot more consistently, especially with talented guys like Gallup and now fucking CD Lamb.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
It's gonna be hard.
that's a
It's gonna
scary
be
offense.
gonna be hard to overthrow CD Lamb. That man is insanely fast.
Mhm.
Oh, Ace Keenum.
Uh, do you remember that time that Case Keenum
I think
just
we should cut him.
the sad part is
Put him on the bench.
I I
I don't know.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I do think we cut him. It's just
This man made one throw. Like
he had that one just season. He wasn't even that great of a season.
he had.
It's just the fact that they were winning games.
Yep. Yep. Their defense was insane that year too.
Hmm.
The Vikings defense was really good that year. And then they had like three running backs who could just.
But it's just he's too highly paid to not be a starting level player.
Yeah. Well, he was supposed to start this season, right? And then he just didn't live up to
Yeah,
expectations or whatever.
yeah. Everything started going downhill. But now you see high hopes for this dude right here,
Yeah, Dwayne.
Big Dwayne. But even more so, Eli Manning.
Oh yes, dude.
Where are we putting Eli?
That's not
It's
Eli.
it's not.
No,
What do you mean?
that's not Eli, bro.
They look the exact same.
That's the Rook. Oh. I
I
like him.
I love Daniel Jones.
I do too.
I really
I honestly like if he can get the turnovers under control, he's gonna be like almost there, maybe elite.
Daniel
If he can
Jones.
get it under
Daniel
control.
Jones had one of the weirdest seasons ever because in games that he didn't turn over the ball, this dude played like he was the best quarterback in the league.
Yep.
But the second he had one turnover, it was an ugly day.
Yeah. This man had so many fumbles. Just
Like
you remember when Jamal Adams just took the ball out of his hands?
like a handoff.
Yeah, like
So
he snapped the ball. Jamal Adams was blitzing, and he just ripped the ball out of Daniel Jones' hands.
so
That
I
was he needs to work on that definitely.
disrespectful. His
I
handoff
think
gains point.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty easy to give the ball to Saquon just to run.
And as long as Saquon stays healthy,
Yeah, I think he's starter.
I think he's 100% a starter.
Yeah.
Easy. Because I want him starting personally. I don't want him to be on the bench. I want him to develop. Derek Carr. Now, I am a Raiders fan. I am putting this out there right now.
Yeah, that's what I
He's
was thinking.
it's been 6 years now, I think, and I get that he doesn't have great receivers. Like I think it's Tyrell Williams.
Yeah,
It's Darren Waller was insane last year,
His
even though,
best his best receiving threat is the tight end.
which is never a good sign
Yeah.
unless you're the 49ers.
Yeah. I don't know. But he did have talent a couple years ago when he broke his leg.
He did. He had an MVP
Like,
level season. He had an
yeah,
MVP finalist season.
it's just after that he hasn't been up to the point where he should. Like, I don't know where he's expected to play. I mean, I don't know how much longer they're going to keep him. Just because Cam Newton's a free agent,
I,
they have three quarterbacks on their team right now that could be threats. I mean, I think they have Marcus Mariota, right?
they have
Yeah.
Mariota now, which
They have
I don't.
Mariota, Derek
I
Carr.
really do not mind that hire at all. I really don't.
No, if Mariota could stay healthy, like he wasn't horrible. I mean, he had the Titans in playoff contention in his like first 3 years.
Didn't Mariota catch his own touchdown?
Yeah, to beat the Chiefs, he tried to throw a pass and he got swatted and he caught it.
Yeah, how so many things can change so quickly.
For real. Now this
But
man is just owning everybody in the
now,
AFC.
this might be a controversial thing on my part.
I agree.
I don't think
I
he's.
agree.
I don't think he's
He
quite
can
there.
he can take his team to the playoffs, but he's not leading them to the championship.
He's still young. He's still raw. Like he's still like has so much that he can like work on and develop. But I know he's going to end up being here. I know he will.
I think if he gets out of Houston, he will.
It'll
If he
be
if he doesn't get out of Houston, he might stay there forever because
it
he has
it'll
no
be
help.
interesting. It'll be interesting to see what he does without DeAndre Hopkins. To see like
It's
how
gonna
he has to move the ball around.
it's gonna be bad.
It's
I
gonna.
mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
well, they got
He
Brandon Cooks.
Kenny Stills.
Yeah, and Will Fuller.
Hmm.
If Will Fuller and Kenny Stills and Brandon Cooks, if they can't stay healthy, like
Yeah.
there's no chance.
Hmm.
Because I
But
mean, all of them are deep threats pretty much. Most of the threats from all those dudes, like Will Fuller gets open because they double Hopkins.
Mhm.
Now you're in a point where you don't really need to double any receiver on that team.
no,
Breezes,
we don't even have to talk about that one. That
77,000
I should
yards.
have I should have put him there before we started.
No,
Drew Lock
starter.
starter because you can't say
He was looking good though. He
you
hasn't done anything yet.
he hasn't done anything, but
No,
he's showing flashes. He's the
he's
same,
looking good.
not like the turnover problem that Daniel Jones has, but I want to say same thing with Daniel Jones. It's just you can see the potential there.
Potential. Yeah.
You can see the potential there.
Now he has a receiving core too, like a good receiving core.
Yeah.
As long as they don't trade him away like they did last year. I mean,
Oh yeah, did you see that? They've picked 5 receiving targets in the first 3 rounds for the last 3 years.
I did see that. I don't know why they traded away Emmanuel Sanders. But I mean,
He's old. All those guys are young now, which is
he still got
scary.
speed though. Like a veteran receiver is always good.
Emmanuel Sanders
That's what I
is
think.
just up there in age, even though Emmanuel Sanders was good for him last year.
Yeah.
He has such a
I
young
think
core.
it's gonna be
Oh,
good seeing him with
Judy.
uh yeah, Judy, he's got
Oh,
Melvin Gordon, Philip Lindsay. Uh like those are receiving running like Melvin Gordon can catch the ball. Philip Lindsay can go out for routes too. And then those are also backs that are pretty hard to stop. I don't know.
mhm.
I think it's gonna be interesting. The offense is gonna definitely be good if their defense can put something together. I think they could make the playoffs.
Yeah. Dwayne Haskins.
Um, I wasn't that impressed with what he did this season.
Yeah, he didn't really have great games, but he was good. He had like a
Yeah,
few that were for the record that they had. He played kind of like how people expected him to. It's just
yeah, but their record is pretty bad. I don't know. And comparing him to other rookies like Drew Lock and Daniel Jones, whatever, or like other people who like got their first
yeah,
start, like Mason Rudolph. I don't like Teddy. Teddy got his first start in a couple
yeah.
years. You can't really compare that.
For a
Like
guy, for a
Mason Rudolph played to
guy,
him was I don't know. Mason Rudolph played better than him.
for a guy that people were confused how he wasn't the first overall pick, he didn't live up to that.
Not at
Which
all.
not
I think
not saying that he won't this season. It's just
he doesn't really have a good line though.
no.
That could be part of the reason, but at the same time, that affects your play.
especially
You
now with
can't just
Trent
take excuses.
Williams out
Yeah,
the door.
yeah. I'm thinking honestly bench.
I'm gonna say bench just
I
because
don't think I don't think he's getting you 7 wins.
if he can develop in practice, he could
Yeah,
give him some time. Maybe he needs to be behind someone. Like
yeah.
maybe he needs someone to come in like a veteran, just sit behind him for like a year or two, learn, and he'll be somewhere up here. It's just only time will tell. Jacoby Brissett.
I don't think he's a good starter. I think he's lower starter, upper bench.
I I definitely think he's like in the middle here, but you do forget he had some insane games last year.
He did, but the run game was kind of what held Indianapolis together. The
Hmm.
Colts,
Yeah,
like
I
yeah, it's just
he wouldn't be the guy that I'd go out of my way to sign. You know,
yeah. I mean, the Chiefs have one of the worst defenses in the NFL, and this man didn't do much against them. You
like
know?
I don't know if I'd be confident with him as the starting QB.
Yeah. I don't think he. I don't think he's consistently getting you 7 or 8 wins a season.
I
He's definitely the best player. If he's on the bench, he's definitely the best player on the bench.
I definitely think I'm gonna put him on the bench. I'm gonna say he's the top of the bench tier, but he you can make a case for starter.
Yeah,
I think you could, but that's
definitely.
this is our opinion, so who cares?
Yeah,
um,
no, put him up there. All Saints QBs go into the league eventually. Um, I don't know. He's showing
uh,
flash. I think starter. I think starter.
I want to say starter, and I want to say top of the starter actually,
He shows flashes. It's
because
just
I personally don't think there's ever been a player
struggling.
that's more exciting to watch
He is. You don't know what's gonna
at
happen.
QB
You
because
don't know what's gonna happen with him.
he's the most entertaining quarterback I've seen in the
He's
past.
either throwing. He's either throwing an 80-yard touchdown, and this man's gonna throw a pick six.
Like he
Like
could throw 5 touchdowns in a game and
yeah,
5 picks at the same time.
yeah. It is really exciting. I think he could definitely be elite or almost there. I mean,
Hey,
he had the Bucks in playoff contention in one of his first couple years in the league,
hmm
and his numbers aren't that far off from Peyton Manning's right now. Like if you compare the first 4 seasons, they're pretty similar, except Peyton didn't throw for 5,000 yards.
hey,
Um,
just you wait till that LASIK kicks in.
yeah, I'm hoping that does something because quarterback of the future.
Dude, I would, I actually would not mind at all seeing Jameis Winston win an MVP. I really wouldn't.
I don't know.
I would
I'd
love
like to
that.
see him. I'd like to see him win a Super Bowl MVP while in New Orleans. You know,
Hmm.
while part of the Saints. I'm happy they signed him.
Breeze is going to take him in at practice
Yeah,
and say, "Listen,
yeah.
we're the team with black and gold.
All right.
Anyone else?"
You used to throw to us before. You know what to do now, all right? Just keep throwing at the black uniforms. You see,
uh,
Jameis Winston has more completions to Saints players than Taysom Hill does.
oh,
He has 10 completed passes to Saints players. Taysom has 7. But I will say, a couple of his interceptions against the Saints in the games that I've watched have been actually not just against the Saints, but like overall, he has a decent amount of picks where he throws the ball and it just bounces off his receiver's hand. Like
they were
last year,
they were a decent amount of
yeah,
picks last year that
yeah.
happened.
Last year he threw it to his tight end. What's his out of Alabama? OJ.
Mhm.
I forgot his name. OJ, and like he caught the ball.
Simpson.
Nope.
Yeah.
I don't think it's OJ Simpson.
Yeah, at a University of South Carolina.
Maybe that is what it is. Yeah, I think you might be right. Maybe you're right. But like he caught it, and then he got hit, and the ball like popped out of his hand. So I don't know if he can get a like, because he had a good receiving core last year. It's
Oh,
just
Godwin and Mike Evans.
yeah,
Ooh,
like OJ
tough.
Howard. That's who it is. OJ Howard.
Oh, yeah. Is he still
Yeah,
there?
he was bad this year. Yeah, he's gonna be behind Gronk.
Uh,
He was good a couple years ago. It's just this year he was not up to what people expected out of him.
yeah. Uh,
The most overrated quarterback in the league now.
well, I think that goes without saying. But
Without Todd Gurley, I'm benching this man.
but I think he stays a starter.
Without Todd, I don't think he can lead a
He
team to 7 wins.
he did it pretty much without Todd last year.
Todd
Todd
was still playing though.
Todd barely did anything until later in
He
the
was still
season.
he had 12 touchdowns.
He had 12 touchdowns, and like, how many games did he have over 100 yards?
I don't know, but that division was also getting tougher. Todd didn't have any over 100 yards, but
No.
how many yards did he throw for? 3,500.
30,
Like he's not worth money wise. I'd bench him. Like he's not.
money wise, yeah.
I don't think he's living up to the money.
You know what? I have to agree to that because that's
Yeah,
kind of why I said cut for Case Keenum.
yeah, yeah.
So I look like a
Con-
hypocrite.
Contract wise, compared to his play, he's not worth it.
Jimmy Garoppolo, I DM'd him on Instagram and he never answered. So
Yeah, I agree. I'm playing. I think starter
I think
because without the talent, he's not. I don't know.
he definitely.
I
Oh,
think
he had some really good games last year,
he,
though.
he's a game manager now.
And
That's what I think.
without minus George Kittle, without really a too impressive receiving core.
Well, Debo Samuel's is one of the best rookie receivers.
Yeah, but
And then,
if a
I
rookie
mean,
receiver is one of your top guys,
well, it's just because he's a speed player. Like
yeah.
he can do a lot of stuff. And same thing with Emmanuel Sanders. I don't know. I think without Emmanuel Sanders, he's not winning nearly as many games
Plus,
because
you have to keep in mind though, he also was a season fresh off of tearing an ACL.
yeah, I don't know. I think he's starter. I I'm not sure where in the starter list though. He's not benched, but it's just compared to the hype that he's getting, like the next Tom Brady. I don't think he's there.
Mm. Yeah, well, I mean, he's not 43, so yeah.
Good point.
Josh Allen.
I love Josh Allen.
Josh.
This man has a cannon, and with Stephon Diggs, that's gonna be scary.
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
like he has who's his receivers last year? Who were his receivers last year? Cole Beasley.
John Brown.
That was John Brown's pretty good. Cole Beasley is his second best receiver. Right?
John Brown with maybe the my favorite touchdown celebration ever. When I say that I actually went crazy when Josh Allen caught a touchdown from John Brown and then did the John Brown
Oh yeah,
ASU celebration. Oh, oh.
John Brown's good.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. I think I like him as almost there.
I don't
It's
think
just his play in the Houston, or he's lower almost there or top a starter, because his play in like the Houston game was not what it should have been. It was, or it just wasn't really good. Like he kind of choked. But throughout the season, like if you look at the Dallas game, he played well.
the step. I think after this season he could be a here, but I think just
Yeah,
based
right
on
now
last season, I think he's a starter.
I agree. Cut Josh Rosen.
It's such a sad thing for Josh. This Duke may be the unluckiest quarterback of all time.
Definitely, he played. He got one season in Arizona, right?
Hmm.
And
And
then
then they drafted
traded.
a quarterback #1 overall.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a good draft.
It was. We'll get to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Kirk
It
Cousins.
depends on which one you get. If you get middle of the afternoon Saturday, like Kirk Cousins, like locally televised game, he could be almost there elite. If you get primetime Kirk Cousins like Monday night, you could bench the man. You know, like
Yeah, it's just yeah.
I don't know. I think he made some really good plays and some really really bad plays. So
If you get him fresh out of a Sunday morning mass, then he's gonna play lights out. It's just after a few hours, then it kind of wears away.
yeah,
He's exhausted.
yeah. I think
I
for
personally
starter, lower almost there.
I want to say almost there because Kirk Cousins. Keep in mind he was in the MVP race. He was,
Yeah,
and it's gonna be interesting without Stephon Diggs this year.
it's gonna be tough for them. They don't have a killer receiver like that. I mean, they
But
have Justin Jefferson. I love Justin Jefferson. I'm actually upset that the Vikings got him, but I mean, at the same time, Justin Jefferson's not Stephon Diggs yet.
no,
He could be someday. He could be better than Stephon someday,
who knows?
but
Yeah.
but right now he's not, and I think it's gonna be a tough season.
Yeah. Plus, Kirk Cousins has one of the greatest non-important highlights ever in the Pro Bowl several years ago now. One of the people on offense, I don't remember who it was. He turned over the ball, and some cornerback was running back with it, Kirk Cousins ran from their own 30-yard line all the way down the field and forced a fumble on a keep to lead. It was a keep to lead. Forced a fumble on the 5-yard line in the Pro Bowl. It was the most high effort play for something that really did not matter
People
at all.
people really don't care about that. Yeah.
I love that type of energy. I love that.
Offensive Rookie of the Year, Kyler Murray. Yeah, I honestly agree.
Whoa,
I think that
whoa,
that's
what?
accurate.
Why
I
did
think that's accurate.
why does he
You
have
give him a.
no, why does he have the white box?
Oh, oh I thought you were saying whoa because like I was wrong. I was like no.
Huh.
I don't know.
I think he won Offensive Rookie of the Year. You can't
Yeah,
not put him there.
yeah. And now he has DeAndre
Now,
Hopkins,
like
Larry Fitzgerald. He still has Fitz.
I mean,
They could.
undeservingly won Offensive Rookie of the Year, but he still won it.
Who do you think should have won it?
Josh Jacobs.
No,
Yes,
no.
we're not getting into this. This is their time right now.
All right, my bad. Kyler
But yes, he
Murray.
should have.
I I am a Kyler Murray hater. Right? I hate on this man. I hate on him so much. Like, but I still think he should have won Offensive Rookie of the Year.
1,200 rushing yards and over 10 touchdowns in just 12 games. Um, Lamar Jackson. This goes
Just 12 games. No.
without saying Lamar Jackson.
I don't know, dude. This dude has so many weapons.
He
Um,
he
I don't
does, but
think
you know what
I
his
don't think
greatest weapon is?
his speed.
His feet.
Yeah. I don't think he's doing much or having much of a career though if he keeps doing that.
He, yeah, yeah.
People who
But
do that end up getting hurt and then lose it.
this dude led the league in touchdown passes. Nowhere near yards. I think he only had like
Look at his yardage. Michael Thomas had more receiving yards than the entire or more receptions than the entire Ravens core.
Mhm.
Like the Ravens wide receiving core. And without, I mean, they lost Hayden Hurst, right?
Mhm.
I mean, so they're missing a tight end threat. His big targets tend to be tight ends.
Mark
Whatever his
Andrews.
name is. Yeah. I mean,
But this dude just won the MVP, and you can't say whenever you watch
but
the
he choked against the Titans. That's the
true,
thing.
true. But
With a
whenever
very,
you,
very, very talented defense. Like the
whenever
front seven's weak, but I mean, it was a low scoring. They didn't score enough. You know,
mhm.
like if
whenever you watched the Lamar Jackson game last year,
it was exciting.
it was mind blowing.
Yeah,
Everything
it was.
everything he did was insane.
But I think it's gonna be people are gonna figure him out this year. It could be a hot take. I don't know.
That is a hot
It could
take,
also be.
but
Could
we
also be.
welcome those.
It could become a freezing cold take. I think people are gonna figure him out though.
He just
Like
throws 5,000 yards.
this man throws for 5,000, rushes for 2,000. It'd be crazy. Like Mark Ingram just doesn't touch the ball anymore. I don't know, but I do like them with Dobbins.
Yeah, Mark Ingram and Dobbins.
Yeah,
Oh,
I do like that's like a good run game. But
mhm.
if you have a good run defense,
Which you know what makes that even scarier?
what?
Because last year it was always like you never knew who was running the ball because he
Yeah.
could have handed off to Mark Ingram and been fine, or he could have just taken it himself and been even better,
No,
probably.
now they could do triple options like every play and
Eh,
still be okay.
Like they can literally do my game plan whenever I played NCAA 14.
Yeah.
Just triple options every single time.
Yeah. I'm a four vertical guy myself. The 2012 Saints really fit that mold with I literally just made Jimmy Graham just the whole time.
All
Um,
right, Mariota.
Bucks bench. I feel like
You know what?
he's benched right now.
He
Like, there's no way he's above that. He
uh,
couldn't take the Titans to any wins.
I'll leave
I
him.
don't know.
I'll leave him a bench right now. I'll
I
leave him
think
a
it's
bench right now.
upper bench. That's what I think.
Upper.
I like him between.
I think I'm gonna do it.
Can we move
Just
this around?
I'm
Can
gonna.
we move Derek Carr in
Oh
front of Andy Dalton?
yeah, we can. Oh, I'm. I only did that because like I didn't want to seem like I was
Yeah.
boosting my own team.
And Marcus Mariota. I think Marcus Mariota is in front of David
I'm.
Carr. In a good season.
I'm just gonna do it how it is in real life.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That is true. Wow, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
My man Mallard Hodges, Duck.
that's
Oh, that's Mason Rudolph.
that's
Oh my
Mason
God.
Rudolph. You probably didn't
Cut that out.
notice.
Cut that out. Cut that out. Cut that out.
You didn't notice the fact that there was no dent in his head, so I don't blame you.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was kind of like looking for like the brown helmet. Like, I thought it was stuck in there. I guess
It's
not.
I'll edit one in right
Uh,
there.
Okay, I think upper bench, lower starter.
I think we cut him.
I don't know. Look at the Steelers. The Steelers
The
had
Steelers,
a
he was so bad.
for a team that lost their starting franchise QB. I mean, I I don't know how many wins they get. 7.
Not a lot. Not enough to. Oh, they were on the cusp though, so it was 7.
Yeah,
Actually, I
I
think
mean,
they went 8. I think they went 8,
eight.
8, 8 and 8.
Let's see. We'll look right now. 8-8. Yeah, yeah, they went
Yeah.
8. I
Hey.
mean, some of them were with Duck. I'm pretty sure because Mason Rudolph was out.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, which
but
ironically is what they probably should have told Mason Rudolph to do.
probably I think he's on the bench at least.
I'll agree with you there.
I don't like him more than I like him more than Andy Dalton. I like him more than Dwayne Haskins. I don't like him more than any other dude on it.
Mhm. Matt Ryan. This is a confusing one for me
Um, I don't know, man.
because I don't even know if we can put him in almost there.
I hate this dude so much.
I
Um,
I
I,
think I think he's a starter.
he's taking his team to the Super Bowl.
He has and then fallen off completely.
Yeah, he has fallen off a decent amount. He also has an MVP. So if you use that reasoning for Lamar, you kind of have to put him up in that direction too.
Mhm.
Because I like him. I think he's better than Cam
Without a doubt.
as a QB. So you got to
Like
put him. I think he's.
as pure throwing talent, he's
Yeah,
going to complete more passes than Cam Newton.
he cannot move to save his life though.
Would I rather have a healthy Cam Newton
Yeah,
than
100%.
MVP season Matt Ryan? Yes.
No, no,
Yeah,
no,
because a
no.
healthy Cam Newton, we're thinking MVP Cam Newton, who was insane.
Well, healthy Matt Ryan, we're thinking giving you 4,600 yards at least, probably 30
Well,
touchdowns.
either way, I'm taking this guy over everyone. So,
Yeah, I mean he's the best quarterback in the NFC South, so he's
uh,
been the best quarterback for a while. But I don't know. I still kind of like. I don't know. I think he should be above starter. He's got a lot of talent, but you can't
I,
use that to take away his
I
ability. You
yeah,
know,
but it does help having the best receiver in the league. As far as
second best, second best
I
receiver.
was not even the best receiver in the NFC South. Wow.
Yeah,
In the past, for like the decade, probably the best receiver over the decade.
yeah, definitely. I think 2010s was Julio's time frame.
Hmm.
But I mean,
Which sucks that Calvin didn't play any longer.
he's got 8 straight 4,000-yard seasons.
Hmm.
You're not going to put him almost there.
How many winning seasons?
A decent amount. I mean, he's made the playoffs 3 or 4 times.
Where's his run game been in
Right.
those seasons?
It's been very, 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 very there. It's like been pretty strong during those seasons. Devontae Freeman was putting the team on his back in most of those games.
Who am I thinking of then?
Oh,
Wow,
they definitely have. They had Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman their Super Bowl year.
Tevin But what Devontae Freeman just hasn't been playing that well in the past couple. Like that
Devontae
season,
Freeman.
that season when he led the NFL in
Oh, recently
touchdowns.
no. Since they've had a losing record, Devontae Freeman has not shown up. That's why he got
What?
cut.
Yeah,
The past, like he's been injury prone.
but
The past 2 or 3 years, he
with
hasn't shown
with
up.
Todd Gurley this year,
I still don't know because if Todd Gurley is going to be allowed on the field, they're not going to get anything out of him.
that's true. But I will say, this is unrelated. That Todd Gurley Falcons jersey is hard.
It's okay.
It
I
low
think
key
he's-
looks so nice.
I do think Matt Ryan's a better quarterback than Kirk Cousins. That could be like I don't know. It could be like not. I don't think it's biased, but it could be like because I see him play more often. Like I follow the Falcons a decent amount, but Matt
Mhm.
Ryan he's got some arm talent and he's pretty good at getting the ball, getting rid of the ball before getting sacked with that horrible O line he has.
Yeah, they need to fix that.
Yeah, with a good O line, I like
Shut up,
Matt
Alexa.
Ryan. With a good O line, I like Matt Ryan more than
Do you see that?
Kyler Murray and Kirk.
Do you see
Or
Alexa lighting up back there?
I do see that.
All right, Matthew Stafford.
Starter,
This might be a this.
lower starter.
I lower starter.
Dude,
I think
he
you
hasn't done
forget.
anything.
I think you forget how well he played until he
I
got hurt.
I remember how well he played until he got hurt, but like the Lions were kind of okay. They weren't horrible.
Hmm.
But I mean, the fact that he's gotten hurt so many times, like I don't know.
His heart's been broke so many times that he just doesn't know what to believe in.
I hate you so much. Um, I guess middle starter, maybe closer to almost there. I like him more than Baker.
I do like Stafford more than Baker.
I like him. I think as a quarterback, he's better than Jimmy G, but Jimmy
He,
G is reliable. He's gonna.
Stafford's also one of those guys that I want to succeed more than 90% of people. Like I just want
Yeah,
to see him do well. I
yeah. I mean, that's a good point. I don't know. Where do you think he should go?
I'll agree. I'll agree starter. Just
Yeah, yeah.
he
I
didn't
think
have
that's the right
he
pick.
didn't have a full season last year, so it's gonna be interesting this year to see.
Oh, this one's easy.
Well, I witnessed him for Halloween, so I really can't put a fair thing
This
on
one's
this.
this one's pretty easy. You got to put him elite. Um, I think
Can we make a mustache tier for just him and Aaron Rodgers?
he split the season with Nick Foles. You know, like he wasn't there the entire season.
Do you remember that time that Baker
He was
Mayfield? Do
good.
you remember that time Baker Mayfield showed up to a game with a handlebar mustache and then shaved it before the game
Yeah,
started? Yeah.
for good luck. I think I like him more than Baker, if I'm being honest.
I I don't think he's a starter.
I think he's a starter, just because the games I saw, right,
He
he showed up in every game but the game against the Saints.
he's the only person that beat Daniel Jones in fumbles.
Really,
Hmm.
maybe bench him then.
He had five
But
turnovers in a game this year.
think about how bad that team was. Though Leonard Fournette didn't play up to his expectations, like anyone's expectations. That O line didn't play well. Their receiving core was pretty good. Their receiving core is good, but their defense and everything else, like he has to keep up with the other team pretty much
Hmm.
because their defense just they traded away their entire defense. I don't know. That management isn't very good.
No. Now,
Now, if you ever saw this man at UNC, you know he belongs in the elite category. You know,
dude,
like
if this was a college football tier list, this dude is way up here. But
yeah, yeah. I mean, like if you even compare him to these players in college, he's probably still towards the bottom. Like
yeah,
all of them in college, Mitch Trubisky brought North Carolina to top 25, but I don't know if he was better than Jared Goff in college,
Jared.
or
Yeah,
or Jacoby Brissett. I promise you, he's not better than Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson in college. He wasn't better than Dak. He wasn't better than Jameis Winston or Baker. Like I don't know. I
why can't I remember
in
what
college
college Jared Goff went to? Was it Utah?
thought it was USC. No, it wasn't
It
USC.
wasn't USC.
Um,
Because what's his name? Cody Kessler was USC.
was it Cal? It was Cal.
It was California.
He's a bear.
I was thinking of
He's a golden bear. Shout out Cam Jordan.
Utah because he had a game against Utah where he just did not play well at all. Like I
Um,
think he threw more passes
he
to
was
Utah than his own team.
he was good at Cal though.
Yeah, he was really good at Cal. He was the first overall pick. So
Yeah, you gotta be kind of good for that.
yeah,
I don't know. I think either bench or cut. He's not getting wins. He has what should have been the best defense this year
hmm
with, I mean, a decent amount of offensive threats.
with he who shall not be named.
Who?
Once again, mentioning I'm a Raiders fan.
Uh, yeah. He should not be named. And then a cold secondary. Khalil Mack is insane.
Uh,
I don't know.
yeah, he was.
If you can't win with that good of a defense, you should not be on this list.
No.
You should make a pile undercut for Mitch Trubisky. Like it should be titled like overthrows 10-yard passes, like something like that.
Anything over 6 yards. Ugh.
Like screen passes are a risk. That's a category. He goes in there. Like that might be too far of a pass for him.
They did Nick Foles so dirty with this photo.
Yeah, he doesn't look very good. I
Jeez.
think upper bench, lower starter.
Can I make a separate thing for playoffs?
If you got playoffs Nick Foles, he's elite unless he's playing Drew Brees. Then he's losing.
Let's see. Add row below. Okay.
Put playoff god. Change the color of the text.
I'm trying to. Let's see. Blue.
There we go.
Okay. Because I don't know. I don't think it's fair to put him anywhere else. I think he has to have that.
I think if he fits regular season, he's upper bench, lower starter. Playoffs, though, he's pretty good. I think the only other people that go on the playoff god spot. Is there anybody else?
Uh, mm, um, I mean,
I don't know. Thomas, but he's had a top 10 defense almost every year he's gone to the Super Bowl.
yeah.
You could say Russell Wilson's up there. That man making that 40-yard back foot throw. Thanks for doing that before we talked about it. We don't really need to go over that.
We don't need to spend any time on that.
He's the best quarterback in the league.
He's the best quarterback in the league right now.
While you're at that, put number 2 up there. Russell Wilson's second best.
Like that's just simple. Like if you think anything else besides that, you don't watch football.
You gonna put it in order?
We can do that at the end.
Okay. Phillip Rivers.
Ah,
That man's not. I don't know.
I don't think he's not elite.
He's better than Brissett and Goff, but he's. I don't think he's almost there either. Last year, Phillip Rivers would have been a baller. That man.
Wait, better
was
than Brissett and Goff. Are you implying bench?
No, I'm processing through my head right now.
Oh.
I like him more than Minshew too.
Well,
I
I mean,
don't know. I think if he's not making those horrible throws, he's starter.
damn, I just realized that we put Brissett on bench just like what's going to happen this season.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Oh, pain.
I think Phillip Rivers is a starter.
I think Phillip Rivers is a starter.
Because he had a top 5 wide receiver, or someone who should have been a top 5 wide receiver, and he couldn't get anything done.
Now, I don't think there's any other place you can put this guy.
You
Just-
could make a first 4 games of the season god.
No, just as a backup quarterback, he's a god. If you put him in as if he's the starter going into the season, he sucks.
Yeah.
This is the biggest anomaly at quarterback ever, because this is the guy you don't want on your team. If you're trying to build a franchise around a QB, because no matter where he goes, somehow, some way,
Your quarterback is getting hurt.
he's gonna get hurt, or he's gonna play so bad that you have to bring him in. He will start no matter what. Never fails.
What are you
Tannehill.
gonna do next?
Tannehill.
Tannehill. I like Tannehill honestly.
I also
I
like
think
Tannehill.
I think he's at least a starter. He hasn't had talent for most of his career, but this past year he finally had somebody. He took his team to the freaking playoffs.
Like this was the wake up call for him. This was his.
He didn't carry them to the playoffs, but I think he contributed a pretty decent amount with lackluster receivers.
AJ Brown's pretty good.
Okay, that's one. Like who's other couple receivers to have?
I wanted to say the kid from Western Kentucky, but he just has. He's not played well.
Yeah, they have tight end threats. They have 2 tight end threats. What are the names? I forgot their names. I know their tight ends are good, but I think he's starter at least.
I think he's a starter.
I think if he's a starter though, he's above everyone except for maybe Josh Allen. You could put him anywhere between Josh Allen and Matt Ryan.
Oh.
No, I mean like Matthew Stafford and Matt Ryan. That's more what I meant. Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold made freaking insane throws last year. He did.
He was also seeing ghosts. He throws a lot of picks.
It's just who was the seeing ghost reference against?
Talented.
Was that against the Pats?
That was against the Patriots. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah,
I know Tom Brady's old, but that's just mean.
Imagine letting a team shake you that badly. I feel like You can think that, but you should never say that out
Dude,
loud.
he's gonna be
Like
haunted
especially against
the
a
rest
rival
of his
team.
career because of that.
Probably. I think he's a starter. Maybe like lower end. I like Drew Lock. I honestly like every single one of the starters more than him though. Honestly, I think he's a bench. I like Jared Goff more than him.
We're
He has
also we're
arm talent.
also running out of room up here. Not that that matters.
He has arm talent, but he also has very poor decision making.
I
We can always move people around.
uh, I hmm,
His decision making is horrible.
I'm gonna say because of where he was picked.
Yeah.
That's why. Otherwise,
Uh,
like otherwise, I might be inclined to put him in starter,
yeah.
but he can develop. He still has time, a lot of time. Now,
Like we chop him.
I mean, I'm just saying, 6-0 as a starter last year, and he's going to be a starter on the team that he's going to this season. So I think he has to be up here. Um,
Ah. Oh yeah. I think you got to put him.
he's a
He's
starter,
definitely starter. He's definitely starter.
without a doubt, a starter.
I
But
think he's better than the rookies. Better than the rooks. Um,
I think he's
I
better.
think
He is better than Baker.
he doesn't have the arm talent of Matthew Stafford, so I
No,
think that's the cutoff. I don't know if he has the decision making, or like the not decision making, but the quick decisions like Jimmy Garoppolo has.
hmm and the good
But
looks
he's a little bit more accurate than Jimmy G.
and the chiseled chin
Yeah,
and
a handsome man. I mean,
that face.
he's a really talented football player. Um, I think he's above Jameis.
uh,
Either side, either side of Jimmy G, because he's better decision making than Jameis. He didn't throw that many picks. Like I think he had one game where he had two interceptions, and that was because one of his receivers dropped the ball, and the Cowboys picked it off.
yeah. Uh,
I mean, that was a pretty good defense too.
oh, shit, my bad. That's
At the
that's
beginning,
that's
at the beginning
that's
of the season, they
that's
were.
that's so unprofessional on my part. I didn't mean to put Garoppolo twice.
Yeah. Same person, pretty much.
Yeah.
This was like Garoppolo's like handsome father, you know. I mean, the person who started. I mean, um, yeah, you gotta cut that out. Tom Brady. Honestly, ah,
if it feels wrong to put anything besides elite.
yeah, but looking at him in the playoffs against the Titans,
It's
in a
it's
low scoring game like that, he couldn't
it's
put up more than.
I get these 43, but I just want to say this. With how many targets this dude is going to have next season and how good he is like in the
Yeah,
past, regardless of his age, there's no way he isn't playing at a top level next year, right?
their defense is still towards the bottom though.
Yeah, but there's no way with all Gronk, OJ Howard, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin.
Here's the thing though, Tom Brady, we've seen him do a lot of screen passes. They don't have any running backs right now who can really catch the ball.
That's true.
Right? He dumps it off to his running backs a decent amount. Rex Burkhead's a big dude. He can get the ball and go. But I mean, I don't I don't think that they have the talent running
Oh
back
yes,
wise
Rex
for
Burkhead,
him to be
the
completely solid.
best running back on the Patriots last season.
He was the best. He's not bad.
No,
He's an all right back. Like he's reliable. He can catch better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers running backs.
hmm although I'll always have a personal vendetta against Rex Burkhead because in Madden 25 Ultimate Team, I never got a better running back than him, so I just always used him, and that slow piece of shit.
Yeah, he's really slow.
Oh,
He went to Plano Senior High School, Texas.
did he?
Yeah,
Huh.
20 minutes from my house. I guess elite, lower elite,
I,
just
I,
because
I think it's wrong. It's wrong to put.
he's he's getting up there.
This is without a doubt the most accoladed quarterback
Yeah,
ever, and probably will never have that record broken, unless this man right here.
6 Super Bowls.
He's already won one.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing he's got. Really, like he's not best at yards. I don't know. Tom Brady's good. I think that a lot of what he's done though is due to his top 10 defenses being
I just think
every year.
I just think everyone else robbed us this year. Like, especially this guy right here and this guy right here robbed us of the best Super Bowl ever, where it was just going to be Tom Brady and Drew Brees keeping
I
on
think
overtaking each other throughout the game.
I think the refs robbed us last year. I don't think the Patriots weren't going to make it to the playoffs this year.
You guys are the Saints. All you do is get
Make it to
robbed
the
by the
Super
refs.
Bowl. Well, that's a good point. But last year it should have been the Ram or instead of the Rams and Patriots should have been Saints and Patriots. We got robbed of a pretty good playoffs or Super Bowl. It would have been better than 10-13. All right, Tyrod.
Tyrod Taylor, is he on a team?
He's the starter for the Chargers
Uh,
until the
uh,
new quarterback comes in here and takes his spot.
until Justin Herbert, who is the one. I never thought he was that athletic. That dude literally was first in everything at the combine.
Yeah. I think bench.
I don't think you can put him anywhere else.
I like him more than Fitzpatrick though, and more than Mason Rudolph.
I do like Tyrod Taylor more than both of these guys. Actually,
Yeah.
more than Haskins too.
Um, Seems about right.
I think okay, so we can get
You can
into
move some people around though.
reorganizing. Let's go tier by tier. Elite.
All right. Patrick Mahomes is number one.
That yeah.
Russell Wilson's number two.
Russell Wilson. Yeah.
I thought somebody said Lamar Jackson was the second best quarterback in the NFL. I don't think he's top three.
You don't think he's top three?
I'm gonna be honest with you, the accuracy and as a quarterback,
I
right,
I do
throwing the ball,
I do
it's
think
not there.
I think Lamar Jackson. Okay, here's my
He's
opinion.
good.
Here's my opinion. I think Lamar Jackson is one of the top three football players in the NFL, but he's not
Agreed.
a top three quarterback.
Yeah, I would take. I probably if you gave me a playoff game, I'm taking Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, and Patrick Mahomes over Lamar.
Oh, playoff game.
Yeah,
I
if you
would.
give me a regular season game where it's not like a defensive battle, it's offensive. I mean, you could put anyone who's going to give you a shootout like Patrick, Russell Wilson, Lamar, and Drew Brees, and maybe Aaron Rodgers if you give him a weapon.
I would take Patrick Mahomes first because just overall, just like arm
Right.
talent, this dude's insane. Russell Wilson because he's more experienced, but then I'd take Lamar
Russell Wilson
Jackson.
is.
I take Lamar Jackson just because of age.
I'm going to be honest.
If
This
these guys
might
were,
be like a hot take too. Russell Wilson. I like Russell Wilson more than Patrick Mahomes, just because he's mobile, intelligence wise. Like Patrick Mahomes is gonna obviously. I think Patrick Mahomes is gonna get up there, but right now Russell Wilson, I think is like. I'm basically calling Cowherd right now. You know, Russell Wilson's the best quarterback in the NFL.
like Russell Wilson,
That's what I think.
I just he's so good. I don't get it. He's so damn good at what he
Yeah,
does.
he makes the right reads. Like,
I think he's gonna end up going down as the best running back, like the running quarterback
oh
ever,
yeah,
because
like mix.
because the thing is, Lamar Jackson took hits.
Yeah,
Russell
he's not
Wilson,
gonna take that forever. Russell
Russell
Wilson doesn't take hits. He's
Russell
smart.
Wilson is the shiftiest quarterback of all time, and I don't mean
Yeah,
shifty as in just like juking. He somehow never gets touched.
yeah. He finds open lanes to run it.
Uh-huh.
Like he finds gaps or whatever.
He
And
knows
when the
he
pocket
knows when to
collapses around
slide.
him, he's not running across the line of scrimmage until he has to.
Mhm.
Like this man will sit behind. Like he gets chased out of the pocket. He's still calm behind the line of scrimmage,
Mhm.
looking for someone to get open. He's smart. Um, I think Lamar Jackson and Drew Brees is close. Drew Brees is obviously not as mobile, but Drew Brees is gonna give you a quicker drive downfield.
Mhm.
Just because like he's better at throwing the ball. You can pick that.
I think that's fine where it is right now. You know
I'd
what?
flip
You know
Aaron
what?
and Lamar. I'd flip Aaron and Lamar definitely.
Yeah, I don't know what.
And probably Aaron and Tom.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think Aaron's the last of the elite.
Yeah, same. Next group, Deshaun Watson should be first.
Deshaun Watson. I was 100% doing that.
I think next you got Dak and Carson.
I was about to say that.
And
Once
then,
again, they're sharing the same spot. I'm not saying Carson
yeah.
went. I'm not saying either's better than the other.
Then there's Ben.
Hmm. I like this
I like
actually. I like that. I
like
like
that.
that. I like that.
I was gonna say Kirk could go over Cam. You can make a case for that.
Kirk could go over Cam, but I
I think it's okay there though. If
I
Cam's
th-
fully healthy, I definitely want Cam over Kirk and Kyler.
mhm.
Starters.
Starters.
I think we got the starters right.
You sure?
You could always put Matt Stafford in front of Tannehill, honestly, just because
I
I
would.
want Tannehill.
I feel more comfortable putting Stafford ahead of Tannehill, but I think that's the perfect lineup. Actually, I do.
The next one, this one's gonna need to be changed around.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
Uh,
thinking about it again, probably Jared Goff. Jared Goff is better than Minshew and Sam Darnold because he's led his team to more wins.
I
And
I think I like Dalton more than Mariota.
yeah, yeah, you can make a case for that. Dalton, I don't know if he's healthy. Yeah, I like Jared Goff more than Darnold and Minshew. Like the contract thing makes me want to push it further back, but as a QB, he's better.
But I also think that Brissett should still be right there with Goff.
Yeah,
I,
yeah, and
I think Derek Carr goes ahead of Minshew.
then yeah, I think that's right. And then I like Mason Rudolph more than Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Right. And then next, yeah, yeah, no, yeah. There we go.
And
Playoff god. There's nobody else who's a playoff god, so no one really belongs down there. Go ahead, move that to the very top.
there
Yeah,
we
there
go.
we go. There we
And
go.
just like
The
that,
king, the king, right there.
just like that, where he should be.
Yep.
And
We gotta do wide receivers.
well, we can do wide receivers eventually. But yeah, I like that.
I do too.
That's a good list. All right. Fu- Shut up.
Alexa, my bad.
All right.
All
And
right,
that should wrap that up.
is that it, man?
Yeah,
All right, thanks for having me, Marcus.
of course. Anytime, man. We'll do this again.
Uh,
The
hit,
receivers one is going to be a freaking bitch.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
it's gonna be tough. Just get the number one and number two receivers for every team,
Number one, number two. Yeah.
and then the twos are gonna have to be like I don't know, superstar receivers, whatever, like elite. You're gonna have to have like elite superstar, all that.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Anyway,
Remember
thank
to hit the bell.
make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you want more, uh, make sure you turn on that notification bell so you can tell whenever we do another one of these. Or don't. I don't fucking control what you do with your life. And peace.